Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? If y'all can't hear me, I'm just saying good morning. How y'all doing? Cheryl's here. Um, welcome to my world. With everything that's been going on with me from last year to this year, well, ever since I started doing YouTube, this video is just a testimony and a vision of mine I've been having. It was like more of a dream. The dream was pulling me, more and more. It was something or someone was trying to grab my attention, and I didn't know what it was. So I realized more and more that my intuition was trying to tell me something, and it was speaking louder and louder, but I kept ignoring it. Didn't know what was heading my way. I had a few surprises coming my way for this past 2 months. From me getting sick to me being in the hospital to me having good news about my money situation, me moving to a new place. I believe that me and God is working together very strongly. Like He's blessing me more than once. And my intuition was trying to shout at me like, well, this is supposed to be your moment. This is where you're supposed to be at. You're at the right place at the right time. And eventually the right person will come along after that. So for years, I don't know how many years it's been. It was right around the time that my mother was living with me that I said that there was 5 things I wanted in my life. And she was telling me that if you speak into existence, it will happen. I was learning how to, put that into action, like speak into existence more and more. So there was 5 things I wanted in my life. And I felt like after achieving those 5 things, everything else would fall into place. So the first thing I was envisioned was my health. Normally, I wouldn't put so much energy into it before because I didn't take it serious, and I felt so stupid in the past not taking my health serious because I was doing a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking. I was eating the wrong things, and then I realized I picked up this nasty habit of smoking, thinking it was curing my depression and my appetite for certain things. And then I keep hearing that a lot of people is trying to manage their diet. So I figure me trying to manage my eating habits, I replaced some of the junk food with smoking. And somebody realized that when I was smoking my first pack of cigarettes. And usually that's a telltale sign that you have been like very anxious, very, annoyed. You pick up a nasty habit if you're trying to quit something. Just like eating. I picked up this bad eating habits, and from watching so many cooking channels, I picked up the habit of eating a lot of gourmet foods. I spent a lot of money on gourmet foods, a lot of expensive ass foods that I never ate before in my life. And I kept eating it, and then I learned how to cook it. So I started cooking it more and more and more, and I started gaining weight. And then that's where I started picking up the smoking habit. And I went from smoking 2 packs almost 2 packs a day to picking up to dropping down to a half a pack a day, and it will go on for years. And then I stopped for 2 years, and then I went back to smoking again. So during the summertime, long story short, I picked up the bad habit of smoking and drinking, and that was like my thing there. I ate less, but smoked and drank more. And it would get so bad to the point I would literally wake up in the morning and that would be the first thing I would want. So I told my doctor about this, and I was asking her, is there anything I can do to cut the habit and to pick up a healthier habit? Of course, she would tell me, go on a strict fiber diet, go do cardio, go do this, go do that. The typical answer every doctor would give me. So later on that night, I had a dream again. My dream, it was two dreams in one night because I woke up around 3 in the morning. Consistently, it was from 3 to 6 in the morning, I was waking up. And something was telling me to stop smoking. They was like, yo, stop smoking. It could kill you. Your breathing problems is going to mess up. And I was coughing. All of a sudden, just out the blue, coughing. And I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh, throat's closing up. So I was like, it's time for me to go to the hospital. 6 hours into the hospital, the doctor finally told me, if you're smoking, stop the smoking. They did x-rays, drew blood, everything. Pick up the nicotine habit. They was like, oh, they knew I had a nicotine habit. Go to the doctor, she would try to give you the patch. She gave me the patches. I was using the patches for 2 weeks and I stopped using the patches. Off and on for a whole year. So I was like, if I want to kick the habit, I'll kick the habit and I'll kick it for good. And then one night I had another dream. And this dream was beautiful. It was like I was having a euphoric moment. And I was in this paradise of a island, and I was next to somebody and I was just talking, but the face wasn't there. So God was showing me that I was going to be with somebody and that I was going to live in paradise, meaning I was going to live in a beautiful place where I'm supposed to be at. And I was going to have the most beautiful relationship, and I would have a whole bunch of friendships, and I would have love all around me, abundance of love, an abundance of money, peace, and paradise. But kids wasn't in my dreams. Kids wasn't in my vision. I was like, but I want kids. And I kept saying I want 3 kids. I kept saying I want 3 kids, And God was telling me, well, I don't see kids in your future, but I do see you live a beautiful life. I see you living with a beautiful person who makes you happy, makes you feel loved, makes you feel strong. I see you with a beautiful dog, but I don't see you with kids, at least not now. So that was enough to make me think twice about a lot of things. And I'm like, what if I live the rest of my life without kids? That was something to think about. And I was like tearing up. It made me cry at the thought of not having no kids in my life because I wanted kids so bad. But something was telling me that with my health problems, I'm not going to be able to have kids. So this is giving me the time to think about it. Am I really going to not have kids in my life? Am I going to live the rest of my life with my husband, a boyfriend, and we travel around the world and we live in this beautiful home and we traveling up and down the East Coast? Like, I had a vision that it was a dream that I was living down south. And my energy was pulling to the south so many times. And that's why I kept saying, I want to take a trip down south. because my energy, God was telling me there's something down there for you to see. My energy kept pulling me down to South Carolina, Florida, and it kept going back and forth for years since I was 18. I even told my ex-fiance this. Every person I ever dated, I was like, I don't even see myself being in New York that long. 15 years, 16 years tops. So I was like, after those 16 years is up, I see myself within a year after that, you know, after I get my money up, after I find somebody that's right for me to move down south. And I had to talk about this with my ex-fiance when I was 17 years old, that I see myself having a beautiful home down south. I didn't know if it was in Florida or it was in South Carolina, but I took a trip down there and I saw two cities down there that I fell in love with the most, which was Tampa and which was Charleston. Charleston, South Carolina, and Tampa, Florida. So I actually went to Tampa, Florida the week of my birthday. My birthday was at the end of the week. So about time my trip would be over down there, my birthday would be coming up. And funny how it did happen. So the week of my birthday, since my birthday was on that end of the week, which was on a Monday, I took a trip the week before down there. And I was down there for like almost 7 days. The seventh day I wanted to leave. I was supposed to be back in New York on the 8th day, but I wanted to leave a day early. So I was down there. My best friend Brittany at the time drove me all around Tampa and Ocala. Fell in love with the place. And I couldn't believe my eyes. It was like paradise down there. It was beautiful. For people who never been down there, to us, it was like paradise. And every day we got to drive around there. Every day we got to spend time out there. We met some peoples. We talked. And I actually made one friend down there. It was a girl. So long story short, I felt like this what my energy was pulling me to. And everybody down there was asking me to come back again for another trip. And I didn't think people would want to see me again, but they actually wanted to see me. But with, like I said, with my financial problems, I couldn't go back down there. So it's been 12, 13 years tops that I have been down there. But for some reason, it still is calling me like to go back down there. And same thing with Charleston, South Carolina. I saw Charleston, South Carolina on YouTube, and my daughter's father goes down there a lot because he is, I guess he has a house down there or a family home, but he was telling me how beautiful Charleston is. And I have another friend, well, an old friend, who lives down there with his mom, but he moved to Cleveland. And his grandmother was down there, so he goes down there to see her. So he was saying that Charleston is beautiful. You get to see everything. There's beaches nearby. There's a bike path where everybody goes to, which is beautiful. Shopping areas is beautiful. Everybody knows everybody down there. It's easy to make friends down there. It's easy to join clubs down there, country clubs. And I was like, okay. This is giving me a lot to think about because my vision kept showing me that I was going down there a lot and that I bought a home down there. And I felt like it was a permanent spot. It wasn't something I was just visiting back and forth. So I was like, Sherelle, you need to start listening to God and listening to your intuition. Like, if it's bringing you to a certain place, you need to go there, check it out, and if you like it and you vow well, go down there. So I have to woman up and stop being scared to travel, and I need to see what's really down there for me. And if it's where I need to be at, then that's probably where my next destination is going to be. If not, then I will stick to Florida and I'm going to stay in Florida for a while. But right now, I am getting my money up. I am trying my best to wait on certain people's and these offices are starting to open up slowly, so we definitely got to get things going. One thing I know how to do well is move, and move fast. Take care of business and not procrastinate any longer, because if it's not meant for me to stay in New York, I'm not staying in New York. Excuse me. So that's just something I wanted to share with y'all. It's just my path is taking a very funny turn, but if it's need to be walked down on, then that's what I'm gonna do. Who's to say? Because I knew me being in the Bronx was not going to be the permanent thing. It's meant for me to move. So if it's meant for me to move somewhere else, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to keep moving and moving and moving until until something tells me to stop what I'm doing and stay in this place. I'm single. I have no kids. I have no other responsibilities for myself. So I'm free to go anywhere I want to go, do what I want to do. And since I'm not in no relationship at all, I'm free to move wherever I want to move to. And like I said, for certain people who's been watching me and been listening to me, I hope this shows them that I don't have the time nor the energy to be standing in one place for the rest of my life waiting for that person. It's like I always had this motto: either you hop on the train with me and we ride together, or you get left behind. But I'm not waiting for nobody. Is you hop on this ride and we ride together till the wheels fall off, or I ride by myself and I catch you later. Because my life is very precious. Time is precious. Why waste it on something that's not permanent and not serious? So, with that being said, I'm going to keep doing what I need to do. This situation I'm in is very temporary. It's not permanent. So, you won't see me staying here for long. This is just for me to keep leveling up. This is my one foot in the door. My other foot is going to be in the door soon. And it's going to be in a beautiful home where it's meant for me to be at. And like I say, since kids is not in my near future, I'm not going to drag the situation any longer. I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm going to keep it moving. But best believe relationship is in my future, marriage is in my future, and I'm not compromising on that. So any person who's trying to get in my life and they don't want kids or they don't want a marriage or anything like that, then feel free to walk to the other side. Feel free to walk in your path, because my path and my goals is to have a family, to have a marriage. And right now I'm just I'm just thinking about myself for now, but I do want a relationship and I do want a marriage. And you don't want that, then you don't have to deal with me. I'm not forcing nobody to want to date me if they don't want what I want. But I don't want nobody sitting here staring at me for a long time and not say nothing, or stalking my channel, stalking my social media page, and they never say nothing to me. If you don't take the chance right now and make things right, or take the chance to be with somebody that you care about and that you are in love with, or that you in like with, then you will lose that chance forever. So it's now or never. Move or lose your space. Point blank. So always like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all later.